Hey guys, so the reason I'm making this video is because many people keep asking the most fucking outrageous questions in the Q&A channel on Discord, because people just don't know how to choose anything in game. However, today is everyone's lucky day. Today I'll be explaining the steps to take in building your hopefully fun and powerful build to show everyone something new and cool. As a precaution, as a player, you will be needing to use your brain. But don't worry, I'll give some guidelines on how you as a player can achieve your goal of a super fun and powerful build. There are 3 key things you need to think about when build crafting. First, what is the build you want? Example being a damage type or a class idea or gimmick you want to make to have your build feel different and fun. Your synergies, aka your armor passives and weapon passives, and the obtainment of said build, because remember that knowing the build is one part of making it, and obtaining it in game is the other. So first off, we will get started on choosing the build we want to make. So for this video, I will give an example random build. I personally want to get a gun build for the range and hex because it has some unique features. Now I also want it to be a debuff spam build, so I'll choose Dark Elf as my race to proc random debuffs. This is the part where you now want to do your research on said build that you want to make. So if you don't know how to build it, first think of your main set of armor and then infusions. Don't think of infusions so much as for the stats of it, rather you want to think of it as good for adding special quirks from other sets of armor. Because infusions lower base stats, but don't lower special stats. So having a random piece of armor with a synergizing special stat will do perfect for you. It's a bonus if that piece does have what your damage type is too. Fast forward, after doing some research, let's build it first from weapon and guild. So since I'm going double gun, this completely eliminates the possibilities of any other guild, so we have monk. Let's settle on that. Next up is our weapon of choice. So I want a debuffing build with things that also buff hex. So for our glove, we choose Void Root gloves for the reason that its passive makes debuffs more powerful and is the only glove that does hex damage. Then for essence, we can choose Rot Essence, as it'll make us also be able to apply poison, which we can synergize with other special stats, and it just increases chances for poison. Next, we can now decide what our main armor should be. So our main armor that I will choose for this build will be Lord Dung. Why this armor? Well, because it gives some unique benefits and quirks which I like, such as the damage over time with the Vile Presence, but it also gives a ton of hex damage and armor of both magic and physical, which gives my build already pretty decent survivability and damage. Our infusion armors will consist of Omen Bearer, because it has a skill called Darkening Hex, which makes hex damage make debuffs more potent and last longer, which is great since I'm a Dark Elf. My second piece of armor for infusions will be Arachnid, because whenever I poison an enemy, if I hit them, I deal bonus damage and heal, which is a great combination. For the last infusion, I would then choose Reaper Ninja, because it makes me deal more damage to enemies that have debuffs, and since I'm Dark Elf, that's perfect. Now that we have our armor sets and infusions set in stone, we can move on to rings and runes. These are probably the most simple parts. For the ring, we have the Blaster Ring, so it doesn't matter, we didn't have to choose in the first place anyway. For the rune, I would obviously just go with the Weakening War rune, not because it's a good rune, but because of the hex boost, and we can just buff it a bit more later, which makes it fun. Finally, for the last part, all we have left to do is find out what enchants I want on all my equipment. So for some survivability, I'll put Vampirism on my ring and rune, and for my armor, it's all Curse for the hex boost, and that's it. So now it's time for review. We have the Void Root gloves and essence for more potent buffs and poison procs. We got full Lord Dung armor for dex boost and nice defense on our build with a free passive damage. We have an infusion of Arachnid, Omen Bearer, and Reaper Ninja, which makes poison heal and deal more damage, while also making debuffs stronger in general. So that is your example of build making, and some steps to find out what kind of build you want to make your build strong. Also fun, yeah, your fun build too. I hope you learned something new, and I hope to see you all in the next video. See ya.